Welcome to video number 259, uh, lecture number 7 on water and agriculture in a series of lecture in rural development. So let me start with agriculture, which is known as the backbone of our economy. Agriculture is the main player of the economy of Pakistan with more than one-fifth contribution to GDP, and it implies more than 45% of labor force in the country. Uh, Agricultural sector in Pakistan rely, relies heavily on irrigation. Pakistan has the world's largest contiguous irrigation system, and it ranks fourth in the world as far as irrigated area is concerned. About 36 million acres in Pakistan is irrigated land, and this constitutes 75% of the cultivated area. Uh, the country has invested heavily in the irrigation sector, and it has allocated about $8 billion in this sector up to the year 2011 and 12, and by now it may have invested more than this. So irrigation is considered as a lifeblood of agriculture. This figure shows consumption pattern of water. Almost 70% of the water is consumed by agricultural sector. More than 20% is consumed in industrial sector. Domestic uses constitutes 8% of the total water consumption pattern. So it means majority of the water is spent or consumed in agricultural sector. Let me also describe water resources of Pakistan. The first source of water in Pakistan is the rainfall. Annual rainfall is about 125 million millimeter in south east to 750 millimeter north to west. The total water generated by the rainfall is around 23 BCM, and its contribution to crops is 10 to 20%. Then there is the groundwater. Exploitation of groundwater is 59 BCM, or 900,000 private tube wells are there. 40% of total supply is at farm gate, and then surface water resources. So total inflow is 171 BCM. From Tarbela, it's 10.38 BCM to 485 feet. From Mangla, it's 5.90 BCM, and there are 48 canals which has a long distance of 61,000 kilometer, and there are 19 barrages, and there are 170,000 water courses, and this constitutes about 1.6 million kilometer. The existing situation in Pakistan is that water is becoming scarce day by day. Per capita availability of fresh water in Pakistan has been decreasing at a high rate, and it is reported that fresh water has decreased by about 800% since 1950. Efficient and judicious use of the irrigation water is the only sustainable option left. Surface water is still the largest source of irrigation in Pakistan. Irrigation system is overburdened, and it's losing its efficiency due to increasing gap in actual and required O&M expenditure. The government has to subsidize major portion of the O&M expenditures. Fresh water availability scenario per person. So we start with the global scenario. In 1950, the total availability of fresh water was 16,800 cubic meters per annum, and in year 2000, this decreased to 6,800 cubic meters per annum. So there is a reduction of 60% in 50 years. So far as freshwater availability in Pakistan is concerned, it was 5,300 cubic meters per annum in 1950, but in the year 2000 it decreased to 1,200 cubic meters per annum. So there is the reduction of 77% in 50 years. And the critical limit is 1,000 cubic meters per person per annum. Then we have future water scenario. In this table, you see this is these are the years, and then population in the second column, and in the third column you have water availability per capita cubic meters. And in 1951, the population was 34 million, and per capita availability was 5,300 cubic meters. And in 2020, the population was assumed to be 196 million, and per capita availability was estimated as 915 cubic meter. And it is estimated that in the year 2025, the total population of the country would be 209 million, but actually it is more than that, and the per capita freshwater availability is 850 cubic meter. Here, if you look at this diagram, the red line shows the growth of population, and it has been increasing. If you look at this has been increasing at almost constant rate, and the slope is positive. And this green line shows the per capita availability of water, and this is the before treaty, the water availability, and this is the shortage of water in the country. Now, current irrigated area in Pakistan is 36 million acres. This is about 14.56 million hectares. The length of total canals is 56,073 kilometers, and the total length of water courses is 1.6 million kilometers. There are losses of water at different level. Main and branch canal, the delivery of water at head million hectare feet is the measurement of unit, and that's equal to 106 million acre feet, and this is 15% of this water is lost. This is almost 16 million acre feet. Then distributary and miners, and here 8% is lost, and area wise it constitutes 7 million hectare feet. Then there is water courses. Here 30% is lost. In fields 30% is lost, and similarly total water loss is 62%, and 65 million acre feet of water is lost. Major concern are problems. Problems from management corporate perspectives. Overall, water scarcity, low water availability during winter and at the beginning and end of the summer with limited reservoir capacity. Physical and technical limitations of the system are there. There is low efficiency in delivery and use of water. There is unequal water distribution, inadequate operation and maintenance of the system. Similarly, we have excess seepage and wastage in the canal system, and there is insufficient cost recovery office and management expenditures are more than recovery of Abhyana, and there are some administrative and financial constraints. Then we have some problems from farmers' perspective. Unreliable and inequitable distribution of irrigation water, deterioration of the canal system and frequent breaches due to weak bands, increased cases of water theft and failure of management to check them, increase in water disputes and delay in actions and justice, political interference in the system management, increasing cost of groundwater extraction. These are problems from the society's perspective. Overall, poor performance of government agency managed irrigation system, wastage of water and low water use efficiency, the failure of government to finance recovery from farmers and high cost of management, financial and mismanagement and poor accountability, lack of farmers' participation in the decision making, political influence in management of irrigation water delivery system, over exploitation of future water resources, especially the groundwater. So there is the problem of sustainability. Then there are some issues regarding irrigation, supply driven rather than demand led distribution of water without consideration of cropping pattern, inequity of irrigation water both inter and intra provincial level and water courses level. Then there is a deferred operation and maintenance of centuries old irrigation system. System losses are as high as 55%. Slow and lackluster approach for water course improvement and lining. Lack of water conservation and application techniques at the farm level. Then there are some options for improving irrigation water productivity, and these are technical land leveling to apply water more uniformly, efficient sprinklers to apply water more uniformly, furrow and bed cultivation to save water, and drip irrigation to conserve water. These are needed. These are technical options for improving irrigation water productivity. Then we have some managerial options, better irrigation scheduling, improving canal operations for timely deliveries, applying water when most crucial to a crop yield, water conserving tillage and field operation methods, better maintenance of canal water courses and equipment, recycling drainage water. Then we have some institutional options. We need to establish water user organization for better management of water, and we need to foster rural infrastructure for private sector, dissemination of efficient technologies and better training and extension efforts. Then there are some agronomic options, selecting crop varieties with high yields per cubic meter of transpired water, intercropping to maximize use of soil moisture, better matching crop to climate condition and quality of water availability, crop rotation to maximize output under conditions of soil and water salinity, selecting drought tolerant crops where water is scarce and unreliable, breeding water efficient crop varieties. There are some options for surface water, additional storage to replace lost capacity of existing dams, 6 million acre feet, and so on. Then there are some groundwater options, sustained pumping up to 55 million acre feet, energy and water efficient pumping systems, amending and managing poor quality groundwater skimming wells for southern Pakistan. Uh, then there are some strategies, crash program for cleaning water courses, miners and distributors, remodeling of mogas for uniform distribution of water, crop independent abhyana on grass farm area, minimize element of rent seeking by irrigated personnel. Consensus on new dam sites is imperative to ensure water supplies, increase cropping intensity within the riverine area by better water management at system level. Then there are some torrent and riverine area development, potential area is 3.25 million hectare, cultivation of wheat oil seeds to support self-reliance, new institutional arrangements, volunteer crops of unemployed, corps of unemployed youth and army camping involvement of FWO and development of surface water, earthwork and hydraulic structures, fully utilize enriched silt deposition with flood water and jack pump to tap groundwater in usable quality. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, this was a brief presentation about water and agriculture. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, kindly do subscribe and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get notification about my other videos that I'll upload for you. I thank you very much for watching this video. See you.